do we discuss?
We're ready now.
No, I reckon that all P-plate drivers should be allowed to tow trailers, and also that the power to weight ratio should be okay if it's in their employment they need to use a vehicle that's got more power to weight ratio.
But you're saying so if it's for work purposes?
If it's for work purposes and in daylight hours.
In daylight hours.
But they're not going to have two different cars, one for work time use and one for
Right,
play.
or just work. If it's a work vehicle, I think that there should be an exemption.
What about company cars though?
Employer vehicle.
Employee vehicle.
Well, does that mean they need to pay more insurance on that vehicle if they're under the age of, say, what?
I think what we've got going now is just about
the laws, not the insurance company.
The insurance, which, so...
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think that with the new system, I think wait an extra year before obtaining a full licence. I don't really think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm with you. I reckon that you ought to give the kids more responsibility and let them grow up.
Yeah.
Instead of treating them as if... Otherwise, it's just...
But they're killing themselves off, so if we're giving them too much... You can't all just agree.
No, why can't we all agree?
Well, the thing is, okay, it's fine trying to give the kids a bit more time on their P's so they can't drive high performance vehicles and
they can't wrap themselves around trees.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter whether they're on their licence or off their licence, they can still wrap themselves around trees.
But the difference is the amount of people
to grow up to get over the age of 21, and then you would hope that their thought patterns would be changing.
Alright, but obviously what you're doing, they're still going to perhaps drive the way they're going to drive, but if they're in something high powered, they can do more damage. If they've got more people in the vehicle, they can kill more people.
Yeah, well that's a good point.
And the other thing is that, originally you had to drive when you were 16, it's just getting slowly bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh no, that's...
Well,
I reckon that they should do a couple of studies. I reckon they should study South Australia and see if they had more accidents when the kids do start driving at 16 and have their full licence, and see if it is a real issue or not.
Well, I know with the motorbikes, when they've introduced power to weight ratio, the LAM system, the Learner Approved Motorcycle Scheme, that they've actually had more accidents because of that than they did before it, because the power to weight ratio is, say, if you had a dirt bike, it's okay for dirt bikes where they're light and everything's okay with that, they can have a smaller engine. But when they're road bikes, all road bikes are heavy and they can put large engines in them and still do high speeds, but they're under the power to weight ratio. So it's like it says here, 125 kilowatts or 3.5 litres to the tonne. Well, here it says 3.5 litres or 3.5 tonnes. So a person on their red Ps couldn't drive a truck or anything over 3.5 tonnes.
That's fair enough. I think anything over 3.5 tonne, probably, that's about where it should cut off. Because I don't think they should be driving heavy vehicles.
Something which is very interesting, over in New Zealand, they can get their licence, I think it's a year younger, if they do a defensive driving course.
Yeah, so that's what they've done with motorbikes as well, with Stay Upright. If you can go and get instead of 16, 9 months, you can go get it at 16 in New South Wales.
Well, I think that's a fair enough thing. If they've done a course, I think that's probably a good idea.
Well, you have to pay $300 to do the course. You have to supply your own motorcycle. You have to supply all your own safety gear. So it does give you a bit of an incentive to kind of go do it.
I feel as if better driver training would be better, like defensive driving, or would be constructive as well.
Well, even driver training's expensive.
Yeah, but if they want licences earlier, if the experience seems to be where the problem is, and also the element of the teenagers and peer pressure, the party element. The zero blood alcohol is the biggest plus out of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it also comes back to how many people they got in the car too.
Yeah.
And I think the more people in a vehicle, if you've only got 2 people in a vehicle, it's unlikely that they're going to be carrying on silly. If you've got 4 or 5 people in a vehicle, I think it's a lot more likely that they start planning around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would agree, and I think that the adult, if there was an adult, someone over the age of 35, you would presume would be a stabilising influence, that they should be allowed to have more than just 2 in the vehicle, because then that gives them, the P-plate driver, more driving experience as well with a loaded vehicle. And if there was an adult...
That much difference with more weight in it?
It does. If you've got a small, very small vehicle with 4 large people in there, they do handle a lot different.
Yeah, well,
Bricks under the
it's interesting.
It's a bit like, it's a bit like putting bricks under a helicopter seat to keep it balanced. And the minimum weight.
If you're not big enough.
You're not big enough.
So we fall over backwards.
But, yeah, I don't know, I can't really see where you go with the weight and balance there, but I do agree though, if you had someone that was more experienced, like an older...
It's like with the L plates where you have to go and you have to have your a person with their licence.
Something I find very interesting is when you're on your L plates, you're allowed to drive a high-powered vehicle, but when you're on your P plates, you're not allowed to.
Well, I think that's quite logical to me.
Yeah, but if you are on your P plates, accompanied by a fully licensed driver, do you think that would be okay then to drive a high-powered vehicle?
Yeah, but the problem is
That would be fine. A fully licensed person, I think that would be a good...
However, here it says the fully licensed person's 22 years old. So I know a few 22-year-olds that would really take...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but then you're going to always have...
See, a learner driver can go drive with a 22-year-old or 21-year-old driver now.
Yeah, and
so I suppose
that's right.
they haven't really changed the...
And you could be driving a V8.
Yeah, and see, like, it says